Hello everyone, how's it going? And welcome to a brand new series on my YouTube channel. Haven't really uploaded in a while, yeah, just didn't really fancy it. But now I do, because now we got FM, and now we can play it. So I'm going to be doing a series with Nottingham Forest, as the thumbnail and the title suggest. And yeah, we're going to try and get them into the Premier League. We're going to try and take this club out of the Championship, because let's be honest, a club this big probably shouldn't be in the Championship, which I suppose is an argument for some, if not most, Championship clubs. But out of all of them, I feel like Forest, Villa, you know, clubs like that should probably be in the Premier League. So yeah, this is who we're going to do it with. We're going to just go until I get sacked or we get as far as we can. But we can't do that until we start. So let's get started. First of all, let's have a look at the club. So Forest, that's Forest League's history over the past few years. Had a bit of a low point between 2005 and 2008, but I mean, they're slowly declining. So let's hope that we can just change that. Obviously, we've got me as the manager, captain Ben Watson. Haven't got a vice captain yet. Key player Jill Diaz, who I'm going to assume is on loan. The kits, which by the way I rate. I really like the kits. Nottingham Forest have got red and white, simplistic, perfect, and like a gold sort of yellow. 30,000 stadium capacity, good stadium condition, year built 1898, holy shit. Here we go. Right. Let's have a look at the abilities first. Who's the best player? Going by our team's analysis. So, Jill Diaz, who we got on loan from... Who? On loan from Monaco, right, okay. Then we've got Hilal Sudani, Lewis Graben, holy shit. I swear he's been hopping around Championship clubs for as long as I can remember. Yeah, Aston Villa, Sunderland, Bournemouth. Mind you, those were both in the Premier League probably around about that time. Reading, Norwich, Bournemouth back in 2012. Alright, fair enough. 30 as well, so he's in his prime. Michael Hefele, João Carvalho. I'm pretty sure that's our most recent signing as well. Yeah, from Benfica. Okay, decent signing, 21. Right. Okay, Matty Cash. I've heard of his name before, and as have 10 other clubs. Holy shit. So we're going to be trying to keep him as a definite. But yeah, I mean, we've got a very good squad. Like a very good squad. The potential's up there for some of these players, especially Carvalho, who is what's it called, our most recent signing. Goncalves and Jill Diaz both have good potential as well. We've got some people down here like Matty Cash, Ben Brereton, but I believe he's leaving for Blackburn, isn't he? Yeah, he's leaving for Blackburn. Joe Worrell, who's out on loan currently. So that's the main squad basically. That's everyone who's going to be in our main squad. Under 23s, let's see what we got potential wise. Oh, we got some lovely potential players. Ryan Yates, Arayibi, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Darikwa, not necessarily potential, but not that bad. We got a lot of average Championship potential players as well. So who knows, if we ever do get to the Premier League, this lot might end up being a good little source of money, or at least loans. So you don't have to pay for their wages, but yeah. And then we got these people who, you know, will be playing for League Two teams probably or lower. And finally, under 18s, Alex Mighton, I believe that's how you pronounce that. 16 years of age, no face. I hate people without a face. Main issue: he can't play inside forward, and there's a reason for that, which we will talk about later. Arvin Apaya, he looks pretty good. 2-star at the moment, can play up front. He's basically a forward. Not too bad as a pressing forward. So yeah, that's the squad for the moment. In terms of finances, we've got £3.5 million transfer budget, so that will be useful to a certain extent. Might be able to get a few players in. And we've got a wage budget of 457k. And we're currently spending £453,000. So if we do sign someone, it will probably be either 2 really cheap backup players for like 2-3k at most, and then we sign it like for a big player. But We haven't seen the squad yet. We don't really know what they're going to work like. Yeah. So now we come to the tactics screen. We've got to choose a tactical style. Now, I've been playing FM for the past like 3-4 months, and I've done a couple of saves. One with Plymouth Argyle, where I've took them to the Premier League in 3 years. As challenging as that was. And I've done a few here and there with clubs like Sheffield and Villa and all sorts. So I've kind of got an understanding for what I enjoy playing with on this game. And I've played with 2 tactics so far. That's the Gegenpress, which focuses on instantly winning the ball back, high intensity running, playing out the defence, playing with a fast tempo, and basically just scoring lots of goals. And then the other one's also Tiki-Taka, which can work, but to a certain degree. I found that with my Plymouth Argyle save, which is probably the best save I had, the Gegenpress was a lot easier for my players to sort of understand and work with. Now, obviously, that's a League One team. This is a Championship team. So we don't really know what we're going to go for, but I'm going to go for something I've tried and tested, which is the Gegenpress. So, yeah, let's choose that. Now we've got a choice of formations. Now, I know for a fact that our best players are wingers, and then our most expensive player is Carvalho, which we've just signed for 13.5 million. So we're going to need to implement him somehow, which means the best case scenario for that would be using the 4-2-3-1. Not really a big fan of playing narrow, so especially on FM. If it was FIFA, it'd be a completely different matter. But yeah, we'll go with the 4-2-3-1 for pre-season. But we'll also have a Gegenpress tactic set up as well for the 4-1-4-1, and we'll call that our sort of away games or games we might lose kind of tactic. Because I want to be constantly playing Gegenpress. I don't really want to sort of have a park the bus tactic or anything like that, because it's not enjoyable. Sometimes you need it, yeah, but I'd rather not. I'd rather just sort of go for a tactic that they can just get used to over the whole season, as opposed to learning one tactic and then learning this other tactic which they're wasting their time training for, but they might hardly ever use. So yeah, let's go for the 4-2-3-1 and confirm. Right, so we're gonna do the we're gonna go through this team now, and we're gonna sort of see what we can do. So our best striker is Hilal Sudani, Lewis Graben being second, which I can already tell is going to be controversial, because one of these two is going to be moaning like fuck at me for the reasons that they're not playing. But we'll go with Hilal Sudani. Didn't mean to do that. We'll go for Hilal Sudani first of all, because we're just going to pick the best players for those positions. Gil Diaz on the right. João Carvalho can't really play advanced playmaker support as well, but 3.5 stars still better than 2.5 star. And then I'm going to assume this is Goncalves, who's going to be here. Yeah, Diogo Goncalves, 3 star. Let's put him there. Actually, if we just switch those two around, we'll go for that. Actually, Diaz won't be as good, but yeah, I'd rather have him. Actually, no. I've changed my mind. Again. We're going to stick with this for the meantime, and then during pre-season, which I will be doing off camera, by the way, just because pre-season's dull as shit. I'll experiment with them and see what's going on there. Right, box-to-box midfielder, roll ability. Gonna have trouble pronouncing that name, so Panagiotis, that's what I'm gonna call him. If there's any Forest fans in here or people who can read that surname, please do let me know how you say it. It probably isn't that hard, but I'm usually good with surnames, but that just seems like a lot of consonants shoved into one word. We'll go with him as a box-to-box midfielder, ball-winning midfielder. Claudio Jakob, we'll go with him. And now we've got the defence. So this is all looking good so far. I mean, we've only got one average player playing so far, or good rating. So this is looking pretty promising so far. Jack Robinson at wing back, solid, good player. I've heard about him. I know he's not that bad. Oh, wow, that's not good. Okay, so one thing I'm already noticing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get a bit more depth for fullbacks, because we really don't have that much depth right now. like at all. Because we've got Jack Colback, who can sort of play left back, but realistically he can. And then we've also got Ben Osborne, who isn't really a left back, but can play it if he has to. And I can't quite imagine them playing wing back or complete wing back to a good standard. So I think we've already identified what we're looking for in the transfer window, boys. So centre backs, Hefele, who we saw in the squad window. I think he's probably our best centre back, and then we've got an option of a lot of good centre backs. So we've got Figueiredo, Joe Worrell, who's out on loan, Michael Dawson, and that's basically it. We'll go for Michael Dawson to start off with, and then finally we got a choice between Byram, who was originally at the Leeds, then went to West Ham, and then got injured a lot, and then went on loan a bit, I think, if I'm correct. And we also got a guy called Sadie Yanko, who I think I've heard of. It sounds Dutch. We'll go with him because Byram's injured. And then finally goalkeepers. So we got squeaker keepers. We got squeaker keepers. And we got 3 crap options. We've got Luke Steele, Pantilimon, who I'm probably going to go for because he's the only one I've heard of, and Jordan Smith. Jordan Smith is wanted, but by who? This will probably give us a good idea as to what sort of player he is. Northampton, Cheltenham, Notts County, so he's definitely not first team. But at the same time, he's at the same average as Costel, Pantilimon and Luke Steele. So we'll put Pantilimon there for the minute. Right, so that's our first team. That's what we believe to be our first team. Now, areas I've definitely identified as an issue is probably goalkeeper, but we've got 3 goalkeepers anyway, so we might just have to make do with that. And wing-back depth, but everything else seems to be fine. We've got a lot of depth here. In fact, we might have some people in the under-23s who we can use. Darikwa, 3-star, wing-back, right wing-back. Yep, perfect. He can come up to the senior squad. No immediate left-backs. Got Danny Preston, but he's 1-star, so he's probably not going to be in our first team anytime soon. And we've also got Lacaviti, I think that is. But again, he's more of a centre back. And then we got our under 18s, but we probably won't be calling anyone up from there unless they're like 2-star, like Apaya. So yeah, we will probably be looking for a bit more depth in the left back area, and then who knows if we can pull it off and get rid of a couple of goalkeepers or one of those 3 goalkeepers, get in a better goalkeeper and somehow make Pantilimon deal with the fact that he's going to be a backup. Right, so that's basically that. We've got our tactics screen sorted out. We've got our squad screen sorted out. When I usually play this game, this is all I really do at the start. We're obviously going to have some scouting reports to do, such as players like Oliver Burke, who, if I believe correctly, can't really play as an inside forward, so we won't be getting him, but we will keep scouting him. Trevor Clark, again, a winger, not really an inside forward, so we will be discarding him entirely. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do these inbox stuff off screen, and then we shall come back to the start of pre-season. So, yeah, see you in a second. Right, okay, so now we've done the induction. One thing I did come across in the inbox was actually our transfer obligations and new signings. So Ben Brereton's off to Blackburn for 7 million. Carvalho we signed for 13.5 million, and then we got lots of loanees, and yeah, that's it for that screen. So it's a good thing I found that. Right, another thing I also stumbled upon was a bit more history about the club. So founded in 1865, Nottingham Forest are a professional English club currently playing in Sky Bet Championship. Nottingham Forest finished 17th in Sky Bet Championship last season, which in my opinion isn't good enough. Having enjoyed their greatest era during the 1970s, and despite not having won anything for 20 years, the Reds have a successful history, boasting a total of 18 competition wins. Here are just some of the highlights. They won the Champions League in 1979 and 1980. Impressive. Won the English top division for the only time in 1978. And are 2 times runners-up. Won the Euro Super Cup in 1979 and finished runners-up once. Won the FA Cup in 1898 and 1959 and finished runners-up once. So, yeah, they've got a established trophy cabinet, but obviously it's quite dusty, and we need to give that a big, good old clean out and get something in there new, or at least get them back in the Premier League, because again, a club like this is it's where they should belong. Fierce rivals as well include Derby, so me and Lampard aren't going to get on very well, which is a shame because I like him. But yeah, do they actually have any other rivals? I feel like they might. Yes, they do. So fierce rivals with Derby, other rivals Leicester, Sheffield United, Notts County, Mansfield. So yeah, we've got a few rivals, but most importantly, two of these are going to be during this season. So we'll actually be able to get a couple of those Derby games, which are always nice, and hopefully win them, because dropping points to the Derby on this game is horrible, and it's just not nice. But yeah, that's basically that screen. Let's continue on to wherever I lead us next. Right, okay, so after doing everything that I thought we needed to do at the start, we've got our tactics screen done. We've checked the dynamics. We've got a really bad match cohesion right now, but hopefully I'll be able to sort that out pretty soon. Dressing room atmosphere's alright, it's on par. And the management support's good. Haven't met the players yet. We've just done the main start stuff. We've done all the inbox stuff. So yeah, the only things to mention during the induction was that the club have no philosophies, and I haven't really talked to them about that. I feel like that's something that will come when I've stayed here for a little bit longer, but I'll probably do something like focus on youth, turning not Forest into an English sort of powerhouse. I'd like to be able to sort of be like a Tottenham and get some good English talent, but that's way down the road. We already do have some English talent, but even still, it would be nice to create some of our own, some more Matty Cashes or whatever. But yeah, without further ado, how this is going to work is we've got pre-season, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through pre-season, so you guys won't see that. I will give you guys just a rundown of it once it's finished. So yeah, that's been the first part of this has been the introduction part, and the next time you'll see me will be at the end of all of these games. So yeah, she'll see you guys in a second. Right, so we are back. Pre-season is done. We've won majority of the games, but as you can see, we did lose to our under-23s, which is a little bit embarrassing. As a bit of an insider as to what happened in these under-23 games, in terms of what formations we played. So we played the 4-2-3-1 in these two games. We then went for the 4-3-3 in both of these games. Now, as you can see, don't get me wrong, all these teams are quite easy victories, I feel like, for Nottingham Forest anyway, but we had a lot more comfortable victories playing with the 4-3-3 compared to the 4-2-3-1, I noticed. The only advantage of playing with the 4-2-3-1 is our Cam, who we recently signed, Carvalho, gets a bit more game time and can actually play in this team. So yeah, those were the games with the 4-2-3-1. But as you can see with the 4-3-3, we had Sudani scoring a hat-trick against whoever we played there. Athlone Town, I think it is. And then we also had another 4-1 win, conceding one goal, with Sudani scoring 2 goals, Cash scoring, and Diego Goncalves as well. However, we had 2 decent teams after that. We had Wickham, who I played the 4-2-3-1 against, which did get Carvalho a goal in like the 90-something minute. And it focused a lot more around the midfielders scoring, I noticed, especially with the 4-2-3-1. As you can see here, we have Gil Diaz and Sudani scoring in these games again, but we have like people like Jack Robinson scoring. We have people like Lolly scoring, Hefele getting an own goal, and not only that, a goal. But then if you come to look at the 4-3-3s, we got Sudani scoring a lot more. We got our forwards scoring a lot more. So yeah, it's definitely weird. But we got the 4-2-3-1 we played in this game, which again consisted of midfielders scoring. And then we had the Roche testimonial, the Barry Roche testimonial, which was the 4-3-3, and again, Sudani scored a lot more, and Goncalves. So one thing I definitely have taken from the formations that we use is that the 4-3-3 definitely focused a lot more on getting these 3 scoring, which obviously makes sense. It's a 4-3-3. These 3 are basically our main forwards, whereas the 4-2-3-1's sort of this section of the pitch is doing a lot more with these guys just acting as supporting players. Even though he's on inside forward attack, Goncalves, we've still got them participating, but not as much as these four. So yeah, it's quite tricky to say which formation we're going to really use. In other news, though, we do have some injuries. If I can remember how we get to them, we have Panagiotis out for 6 weeks to 2 months with a massive injury, which is kind of gutting. But we'll be able to do with that. And then we've got some 1 to 2 day injury. Sam Byram on a 1 to 4 day injury with torn ankle ligaments. So not too worried in the injury front. We have obviously got some players with high injury risks, such as Carvalho and Sam Byram, but going into the first game, I think I will be using the 4-3-3 anyway, so Carvalho won't be playing that game unless I do change formation during the game. Another thing we also did whilst we were going through pre-season is I did set up the individual training for some players, specifically the forwards, so they were training as pressing forwards, the goalkeepers, so they were getting used to playing as sweeper keepers, the centre-backs as ball-playing defenders. The only ones I've left are the midfielders, the inside forwards, and the full-backs, because it's a bit more tedious for me to change them. I have to individually change them so they're playing in their specific roles, and I've got to figure out who I want to play where. So, for example, because we're playing with 2 formations and I haven't really decided which one we're going to use yet, we've got to kind of decide between either playing with this formation, which would mean I'd train the midfielders to play in these specific roles, or if we were to do this, we'd be training for 3 different specific midfielder roles. Either way, the inside forwards would always be inside forwards, whether they're on attack or support, apart from this formation being Lolly on support. So it's quite tricky. So I reckon the first month before transfer window, depending on where we are, I'll make a decision as to what was going to be our first tactic to go for in games. So yeah. In other news, we did make one signing, which is this guy here, Morgan Fox from Sheffield Wednesday. Came in for around about 400k. Pretty decent. A pretty decent signing, I think. His contract isn't the best. He is on a backup contract on 7k a week, which is a bit annoying. I tried to get him a lot lower. I tried to get him down to 6k, but he just wouldn't have it. So yeah, Fox. He will be coming in as our sort of backup idea. His current ability is 2.5 star, but he is a League One talent and a Championship potential. Yeah, leading player for most Sky Bet League One sides. So again, he's not the best, but I feel like playing him in specific games could get him up really well. And it was either between him or a player called Brian Olivan. But Brian Olivan I didn't want to sign because I'd rather have someone more closer to home and also someone who's had experience playing in the Championship. So yeah, I mean he's played for Sheffield Wednesday, Notts County, and Ipswich. So, and I mean these stats aren't bad. It's just about getting him into playing into the Championship a bit more and getting his overall up, and hopefully and making sure he gets game time, because I don't really want to waste him not getting game time. But yeah, he came to us around about 400k. So in finances terms, that has taken obviously 400k out of the 3.5 million budget we originally started off with. But as you can see, there's only 2 million left. That's because I've adjusted it so we could meet the wage expenditure. So yeah, that's basically what's happened during the pre-season, and now we are not far away from getting to our first game of the season. Now, in this episode, we'll only be featuring 3 games. We'll be featuring the Bristol, West Brom and Reading game. Now, this is where it comes down to viewers and, if they don't come in the first few episodes, me. Right, so here we are, a day before the Bristol City game. So we're going to make a decision now as to whether or not which tactic we're going to use, and I reckon we'll go in with the 4-3-3, mainly because we're away and it makes more sense. This is the team we're going to go with. I have just quick picked it, I know, but this basically, all this team does is sum up the exact lot I was going to pick. All we need to do is just sort out this bench because it is a bit buggered. Believe we should have Graben as a striker. We need you there. Daniel Murphy needs to come off. Then we need Ben Watson on. Joe Lolly there, and then we need a centre back, who will be wherever one of our centre backs is. Dawson. Right. So there we go. That's the team that we're going to roll out with against Bristol. Obviously, a fairly average team. Defence is looking a little bit weak, but that's the best we can do unless I bring on Sadie Yanko, who's, again, just exactly 3-star, so it won't really matter too much. But, yeah, we're hoping that we can score more goals than we concede. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get to the game. So here we are, game day. This is the team that we're going to be playing, and yeah, hopefully we can pick up 3 points in our first game of the season. But Bristol City are a tough opponent, and yeah, it won't necessarily be easy. Now, one thing I did forget to mention before we go into this game is our odds of the season. The title odds for the season are Stoke, and our odds are 12th, and we are 40 to 1 for the title. So let's bear that in mind before we play this season, because what people might start to worry about is where we're going to finish this season. And just noticed something now. Let's switch those two around. At the end of the day, this is going to be us keeping with what the board want, and the board want top half finish. They want us to reach the 4th round of the FA Cup and the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, and we're playing Accrington in the 1st round, so should be a relatively easy win, but we don't know. Anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in any one of these cups, especially the FA Cup when we enter that. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the game. These are the lineups for both teams. Bristol City playing a 4-4-2, going to be very awkward. Tom Callas, who was originally playing for Fulham last season, so he's going to be a tricky centre-back to play against. Let's speak passionately, and let's get them all riled up. Let's see if we can motivate as many of them as we can with some passionate individual talk. There we go. Right. Without further ado, let's go on. So we're going to go with key highlights, mainly because extended highlights will take forever. We'll go for slightly faster, and we'll go for that. Accidentally unpaused it there. Right, so not really much happened in first half. We are dominating possession-wise. Oh. Sudani, oh my god. Bit fast. I'm going to slow this down a little bit just so I can actually read play. Diaz to Osborne, back to Jacob, back to Osborne. Cash finding the ball to Sudani, shoots, misses. Oh, Matty Cash has scored! What a goal! Our first goal of the season coming from the young star Matty Cash. Brilliant goal. Jacob to Osborne, finding Cash, trying to reach Sudani. Sudani misses, and Cash gets it on the rebound, and it comes off the crossbar and off the back of the keeper's heel. Not really sure if Matty Cash would take that in real life, but anyway, we're 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers away in only 8 minutes. But again, it's only 8 minutes, and Bristol have the ball. Good clearance. Diaz. Pull pass. Giving it to Webster. Da Silva. Good tackle. Jacob. To Cash, back to Jacob. To Figueiredo. Hefele. Playing it back towards Pantilimon. Pantilimon looking for a winger. Finds him. Goncalves running through. Shoots and he scores. This is a brilliant start from Nottingham Forest. 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes. We will praise the squad for brilliant play. But yeah, it's first 10 minutes and we scored 2 goals with this 4-3-3. So it looks like it's just not the not as good teams was the reason that we were scoring. We actually can get goals out of this gegenpress, which is what I found at Argyle. But more importantly, it's working for us now. Cross comes in from Goncalves. Forest win the ball back. Lots of concentrated Bristol players in the midfield. I want to make sure we don't lose the ball here, especially to crosses like that. Osborne giving it back to Pantilimon. Pantilimon to Jacob. To Figueiredo. Looking for Sudani. The keeper's lost it. And it's 3-0. Bristol City's keeper, I don't know what he was playing at. Sudani comes in and just takes it off of him. Wow. 6 shots. Both teams having 6 shots. Us having 5 on target, them having 4. 2 fouls. Them having 5, us having 4. Total fouls for Bristol Rovers 2, us 10. So we've been playing a little bit dirty. But most importantly, we've kept the possession and we've got goals. So yeah, incredibly good start from Forest. Meanwhile, the scores from the other games: West Brom are winning, Wigan and Sheffield drawing, Preston winning, Millwall winning, Brentford currently winning. Brentford, by the way, I believe signed Keane during the transfer window, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, dressing room. Yeah, passionately say they did brilliant. They all played brilliantly. No one had an off game apart from Gil Diaz, who got a yellow card just before the second half. But yeah, that's fantastic. If we do get another goal, or if we go to like the 60th minute with nothing happening, I definitely will make some fitness subs. Just encourage the lads. See if we can't get a bit more out of them. Jakob. Back to Hefele. Finding Cash. Poor ball over the defensive line. Bristol's goalkeeper kicks it out. Bristol have the ball in our half. Ellison to Da Silva. Back to Ellison. And they're through and they have scored. The team did switch off a little bit there, and it's now 3-1, so we've got to make sure that the team don't let that happen again. Who is to blame for that? Ben Osborne's having a bit of a poor game, as is Gil Diaz, so what I might do is, just to be on the safe side, I might make some subs. Let's get Gil Diaz off, bring on Joe Lolly, and then let's get Jack Cole back on for Ben Osborne. Let's just encourage the lads. Oh, they're frustrated by that. Okay, I won't encourage them. 80th minute. Gonna sub on Graban for Sudani. See if Graban can't pick up a goal. Bristol City are fired up by their feedback. 88th minute, Bristol City have the ball. Taylor putting a cross in and Weimann has scored. It is now 3-2 in the 88th minute. We're going to go a bit more cautious. I'm going to get the lads to concentrate. 5 minutes at a time, anything could happen. But from the looks of it, it's not going to. This should be the last kick of the game. And it is 3-2. What went from a comfortable 3-win went to a 3-2. I feel like the defence did switch off during that game, but nonetheless, we have got 3 points from an away game against Bristol, which I will gladly take. I definitely cocked up this a little bit. I should have just said it was a good game and had a go at Pantelimon, but I don't know why. We'll ignore that. But still, 3 points from our first game of the season. Pretty impressive. We're just going to make sure that we don't switch off again. Rafa Benitez was at Ashton Gate. Was looking at Matty Cash. I'm going to offer Matty Cash a new contract, mainly because I don't want him to go elsewhere. The long-term aims for the club are... let's just remove and exclude that. Suggest promises. Easy. Right, negotiate contract. Let's get him on 8k. Without the yearly wage rise, because yearly wage rises can do your head in. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm going to remove that and offer him a better wage. Right, there we go. Okay, nearly cocked that up again. Send assistant. But yeah, first game of the season, we win. And we go third in the league. So great start. Great start from the team. Just got to make sure that we don't cock up again. Another good thing, by the way, that I forgot to mention is we did sign Glyn Snowden as our assistant manager. So yeah. So these are the scores on the other side of today. As you can see, Preston and Derby are above us in the league currently. Preston winning 4-0 from the looks of it. Yeah, 4-0. With Harrop, Jack Harrop, is it? Josh Harrop getting a hat-trick and also scoring. So, yeah, and Derby winning 2-0. Odds on Marriott scoring in that game. Where is Derby? I literally cannot see Derby. Where is Derby? They're not here. Great. Right, so, yeah. That's that. And what we shall do is we shall continue to the next game, which will be the last game of the episode, because I feel like this is going to be a long episode. Right, so hours before the game against West Brom, We are going to do our tactics for this game now because it's a home game, and also because I want to try out this formation. We will be going with the 4-2-3-1. And if we quick pick, it will put Carvalho in that cam spot. Now we have obviously got to change this again. I need to get out of the habit of quick picking for the reason that this is tedious. Joe Lolly there. Sam Byram can sod off. Dawson, and then take off Murphy and bring on Bridcut. This will be our team against West Brom. West Brom obviously a very good team. Also has very strong chances of getting the title. They might have been second or third. I can't really remember now. But yeah, hopefully Pantilimon can make up for that first game because he was awful. And what we might have to do after this game is if Pantilimon struggles again, we may have to look at getting another keeper, whether that be on loan or if we can sign one from somewhere, whether he be freestar, because, yeah, kind of ridiculous how bad he was for his first game. I mean, obviously he wasn't as bad as the Bristol City keeper, who just did that awful touch that led to the third goal. But yeah, without further ado, this is the team we're going to go for against West Brom, and let's hope we can pick up at least a point. I'd like to get a draw against West Brom, but obviously we want to go for a win too. So yeah, without further ado, let's crack on into a game against West Brom. Right, and we've kicked off. I'm very mixed emotions about this game right now because I'm not sure how much I rate this tactic. And I also don't fancy our chances against West Brom, as telling from that attack there just alone. Just if Jay Rodriguez gets through, we've got to be very sharp today. I want to go attacking, but I'm not sure how West Brom are playing, and I feel like they play on a counter-attack. So yeah, let's demand more from the last 5 minutes. Oh. Robinson to Carvalho. That was a good cross in. Osborne finding Deriqua. Deriqua not able to get the cross in. Back to Osborne. Deriqua losing the ball and it getting kicks up upfield. Cash all the way out to Robinson. Robinson keeping the ball. Sudani misses and hits the post. 0-0 to West Brom in the first half. Feel like it shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. Right. We're going to chat shit to all of these guys. The defence are having a great game. Can't be mad with any of them. Do I want to make any subs going into this next part? Yes, I'm going to take off Ben Osborne purely because he's had 2 shit games now and I don't really fancy... I don't really fancy conceding some goals in the second half again. Carvalho is also having a shit game, but I'll give him a bit of a chance. See, this is his first game. Second half starts. And let's hope we can get 3 points from this. Goncalves with a dreadful pass leading to the highlight ending. Robinson to Carvalho, back to Robinson. Robinson finding no one in the box but the keeper's gloves. West Brom look to play it out from the back. Keeper kicks it wide. Livermore picks it up again. Gale running down the wing, who's deadly. And West Brom have failed to score again, miraculously. 17 shots, 7 on target. This is the FM I know and love. This is my experience with FM all the time. We're going to make some changes. Sudani can come off for Graben. And we shall see if that could do anything for us. Right, we're going to switch it up. We're going to the 4-3-3. We're bringing on Bridcut. We're going to see if that can get a goal. An awful game. Figueiredo. Colback losing the ball. Rodriguez getting through. Saved by Pantilimon. Corner to West Brom. Morrison to take. Colback half-assed clearing it. Deriqua passing it back to Pantilimon. Is this a highlight? It is, but who's it for? Is this a Nottingham Forest goal? Oh my god, it is! Diogo Goncalves with a half volley on the edge of the box. What a goal. Goncalves picking out Diaz looking for that run, finds it. Oh, just on the edge of the penalty area. Can we keep this 1-0? Colback not able to get the ball. Oh, Livermore, I believe, with a cracking shot. 90th minute. Can Forest hold out for 3 minutes? Braid cut to Cash. Oh my God, this boy is a wonder. A wonder. Oh my God. Cash has scored 2 incredible goals in the last 2 games, both in all but the same place of the pitch, just on the edge of the box. That's why the man gets a new contract. Matty Cash is going to be one of Forest's best players if he keeps this up. And that's full time in our first episode. Wow, fucking amazing. Matty Cash with a 91st minute goal, and Diogo Goncalves with a goal that shifted the game to finally allowing us to win. But I don't know, I feel like when you've had 26 shots and 14 of them on target, you probably should win a game. Anyway, passionately, we're not going to get this one wrong. However, we will complain to these 3 who did not have a good game. Because, you know, when you sign for £13.5 million, I'd be expecting you to have a much better game. And there we have it. That's the end of the first episode of this Nottingham Forest series. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. A little bit erratic. I apologise for that. This is new to me, the whole sort of recording FM and figuring out how it works. But if you did like the video and you are looking forward to the series, do let me know in the comments. And let me know if you want me to change anything. And most importantly, let me know about what you think about the 2 different formations we've got. We've got the 4-2-3-1 and we've got the 4-3-3, which you've just seen win us that game against West Brom when I switched to it in the 77th minute. So do let me know, guys, what you think, whether or not I should switch formations and perhaps use the 4-3-3 a bit more often, which would mean Carvalho, our big signing, not getting many games, or would you rather stick with the 4-2-3-1 and give it a bit more time? Because it has only been 2 games, and who knows, it might have just been the fact that we were playing West Brom and it was a sort of a tough game. But yeah, 2 wins off the bat at top of the league. Not going to get over our heads just yet, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I shall see you guys in the next video. Laters.